What's up guys, this is Coach Donnie from Elevate Yourself, where we change lives through volleyball, training, and inspirational content. Welcome to my volleyball coach reaction to Haikyuu Season 4, Episode 6. If you're new to this channel, I'm a volleyball coach, volleyball player, and personal trainer who provides volleyball tutorials, jump training workouts, and other cool volleyball videos. You can also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok for more content. As you can see, I'm in a brand new office. I recently bought a new home, and this home office is 2.5 times larger than my old home office. As you can see, still got some boxes out and I'm still unpacking, which will take forever, but at least I got everything set up to start work and do some YouTube videos. And behind me, Bruce Lee is already up, so everything's good to go. Once I have everything fully decorated and furnished, I'll give you guys a full tour of the brand new home office of Elevate Yourself. This is also one of my favorite qualities about the relationship between Hinata and Kageyama. This reminds me so much of one of my best friends in high school during my senior year on the boys high school volleyball team at my high school. He was also on the volleyball team, and we were just constantly competing at everything, whether it was eating, racing to the first one to practice, the first one to score a point during a game. And the funny thing is, people thought we were not friends because we were always fighting. Now to us, that's just how we communicated, because we were always trying to make each other better. And every time we saw the other person not be their best, it really upset both of us. So it was a really great relationship, and I credit the success of my senior year due to that friendship. John, if you're watching this video, thanks for being my Kageyama. Fun fact, John is one of the few people who could actually eat more than me, which is very rare. I definitely misread Kageyama's reaction when he was smiling after learning that Hinata was a ball boy. This definitely speaks a little deeper on Kageyama's character and how much he truly does care about Hinata and sees the talent and doesn't want him to waste that talent. So the fact that Kageyama recognizes that Hinata had a great opportunity just being a ball boy at the practice just shows how much Kageyama cares about Hinata. I did not expect this level of depth when they were referencing some of Kageyama's old teammates and how they had trouble reconciling their experience with Kageyama, where pretty much the entire team turned against him, and rightfully so. I wouldn't blame any middle school kid for not wanting to be friends and not wanting to play with Kageyama because he was so difficult to deal with. And it also just goes to show how great of an environment Karasuno was for Kageyama and how perfect it was. He might have played on a better team going to Shiratorizawa, but I think in terms of his emotional and social development, he needed someone like Hinata to bring the best out of him, but also to break down his walls. And also having someone like Daichi is a great role model for how to be a good person and also how to be a good volleyball leader and teammate. If you've been enjoying my videos, please consider supporting me on Patreon, where you receive exclusive access to monthly live Q&A sessions, monthly podcasts, my private blog, behind the scenes footage, and more. I also plan on revamping the Patreon coming in 2022. And one thing I started testing out this month that I'll be adding for 2022 is giving you early access to videos such as my Haikyuu reaction videos and special volleyball game videos. If you want to be one of the first people to see videos like this, then make sure you join the Patreon. Now let's get this Haikyuu party started. Oi. I remember those inspiring words, very few compliments from Kageyama, especially towards Hinata. Chisa, I wonder what that means. Are they all staying in dorms? Have they been staying in dorms this whole time? I thought Hinata was going home every night on his bike. I would totally be like Tanaka, just barraging him with questions, asking exactly how it was. Did you see this guy? Were the players amazing? That's right, Suki ratting him out. Oh. This is a cool scene where everyone's just happy to see each other and reconnect. Oh, so respectful. There we go, Hinata challenging his social and emotional intelligence, like I said earlier. Yeah, it is quiet without Hinata and Kageyama always fighting. It feels like Karasuno. Oh, that's right, they still got that banner hanging to celebrate Karasuno volleyball. Enhancement. I wonder what that tape is for. Maybe serving targets? Now Hinata is extra helpful because he knows how much work goes into behind the scenes. Right, the seams between passers. This is cool. This is actually a real volleyball strategy. Serving seams, although I've never seen people do it with tape as a target. Oh, this is great animation. I want you to watch how fluid his arm swing is for Tanaka. So you look at each pose here, you see how relaxed his arms are. That's really hard to do as an animator because I would say the hardest thing in animation is not making your movements look stiff. You would think it's as easy as just drawing a series of still images, but the reality is if you take freeze frames of yourself and you're jogging, you're not just striking poses. There's kind of like a delay of body movement that creates fluid motion. There's nothing magical, that's actually what happens with your body. And so when you're spiking, it's not like Tanaka is just bringing his arms out in these poses. There's this fluidity and kind of a delay of the elbow and the wrist that follows through that creates that realistic flow. Great perspective, got that upward angle. Yamaguchi, oh no, that's not Yamaguchi. Every time I see a jump float, I think of Yamaguchi. I don't know who that guy is though. I don't recognize him. Nishinoya is still struggling with his overhand passing. More volleyball education from Haikyuu. Yeah, if you want to take it with your hands, you need to step forward just a little bit to prioritize them when they're jump floating. Kinoshita, I remember that name, I just don't recognize his face. And I think that one is Inoshita, the substitute middle. Come on, Yamaguchi. I want you to be the best server because you've been putting, you've been putting so much work. Maybe he's feeling the pressure of other people getting better. Okay, I know we've been talking a lot about the animation, but these angles of perspective, drawing at an upward angle is really hard to do because you have to draw the bottoms of the eyelids. I know that sounds funny, but if I'm looking up and if this is not covered, it looks freaky, like my eyes are bulging out. Second thing is settling. I don't know what they call this in other countries, but there's a technique in animation where you want things to settle. So usually we do this with the ball bounce where it's kind of slowly falling down and the way the ball squishes on the ground as it's bouncing. In this situation, hair and clothing are probably two of the most important parts of a human figure to make sure it settles. If you watch Hinata's hair, when he goes from chin down to chin up and he stops, the momentum of the hair goes up and then it floats down like it's settling on the head. Beautiful. Boom, that settle, it just makes it feel so real and so visceral. Kageyama serve. Did he get better from the Japanese training camp? Oh, the split steppo. Oh, you read it? He's gonna get hit in the face? Yeah, what is Shimizu's observation? Coach Ukai knows what's up. He was smiling after that move. Alright, let me see if I can predict what Kageyama's gonna say. So this whole time as a middle hitter, Kageyama has been setting Hinata fast. Now, when you're setting someone quick, it's really difficult to set it perfectly at the maximum reach. And you don't always have to get a kill. I mean, that's the end goal, but it's not a lot of room for error to allow someone to reach the maximum. So most quick hitters usually aren't hitting at their maximum reach because they're fully dependent on the height of the set. But if you set a higher ball, traditionally like a 4 or a 5 or a 2, even if the set is not as accurate, it gives the hitter more time to time it so that they can reach at their peak and also jump a little bit higher to actually calculate a higher contact point. So I'm assuming if that's what Kageyama means, where if he's gonna set him some 4s, it's gonna allow Hinata more time to rise to the ball, but also allow him to really reach at his maximum height. That's a good father. Father Daichi. Boing boing. Okay, so he's teaching him how to put a little more force into his jump versus just quickly skipping off the ground. I just realized that Hinata is actually taking some full feedback from Kageyama. Most of your feet should be on your penultimate step, most of the weight on your second to last step. Hinata's always getting yelled at by Kageyama. There we have the hair settle. So as Kageyama is looking down and then stopping right there, his hair follows through and then settles. Such good animation technique. Yeah, this does remind me a lot of me and John. We just practiced endlessly to the point where we would get too tired and not have enough energy for the next game at a tournament. A scowl on his face. Wonder what Asahi means by that. Being able to time, going from timing quick sets to timing fours is very difficult for middles. Way too many steps. Oh, that was funny. Did not expect that one. Nice gear! The illustrations and animations are equally good in this episode. Yeah, I'm curious how much better Tsuki got. There's a lot going on here that I'm still having trouble processing. I'm not sure what was so special about that, because doesn't Kageyama usually try to set people at a higher point? So something is bothering him emotionally. Okay. Because he was called Goody Two Shoes. Yeah, some of you explain that really well in the comments. This is an interesting explanation. Still don't know how that clarified him being called Goody Two Shoes. Maybe I'll just watch that scene again and read through, see if I can understand what he's talking about. Nothing beats a set that's easy for the spiker to hit, okay? Let me think about that. I would agree with that statement. Nothing beats a set that makes... I already forgot it. Nothing beats a set that's easy for the spiker to hit. Okay, so when the setter is able to find the hitter's hitting window, that's the ideal situation. Okay, and that's what the Grandpa Ukai used to teach them. And he's saying you are that type of setter. So maybe he's affirming him that there's nothing to worry about. That you're doing great and you're on the right track as a setter. That's how I interpret that scene. Let me know if you guys interpret that differently. Ooh, what does he want to test out? Can't wait to see Asahi's new special move. Not sure what else oh, I guess he could improve his blocking. There's not a lot of scenes of his blocking. Date deck. I miss the old cutscenes where you get different players trying to do something fun on the volleyball court and hit the water bottle. Not really digging this chubby bird here. Oh, they got a scrimmage. Wow, even Asahi is intimidating, or intimidated. That's rare. Oh, buddies, Kogane. This should be exciting. We haven't seen a scrimmage this whole season. It's just been a lot of story, so Can't wait to see. I bet you the episode's gonna end right before the first serve as always. Wow, beautiful wrinkles. So let's zoom in here a little bit on Aone's body. Lazy wrinkles are when the wrinkles are all facing the same direction, but you see these 4 wrinkles here on the arm? Every angle and every curve is so different, and that's what makes the clothing feel more organic. And look out for that for other animators. When they just draw a bunch of parallel lines, lazy. And the wrinkles on this bag to make it look like he's actually having his hands behind his back and underneath the bag. And we got those different, like 3 layers of shadows here, and we have highlights. You could just feel the clothing on his body. That's an interesting expression from Kageyama. The scowl, maybe he's still thinking about being the goody 2-shoes. Oh, I get it. So Hinata was referring to Kogane, I think that's his name, that when Kogane was setting for Tsuki, he was setting Tsuki at a higher point. So maybe that Kogane was a better setter for Tsuki, and that's why he's got the scowl on his face. Yeah, especially after that training camp, we got the young setter from Dateko developing. Even better, man, they were already dominant. It's great advice. You got a big block ahead of you, so get used to it to help you prepare. Starting order. Oh, this is a cool animation here. It's like watching it on TV. Gotta study these names. It's like looking at the handbooks at the college games. You get to see all the players, their heights, what year. Man, this is so awesome. It's like a fighting game. This must have been an expensive sequence. Wow, I even got the flames. Wow, it reminds me of Capcom versus SNK, like that style of graphics there. I thought he's already played against Hinata, so he's seen his quickness. Surprised he's surprised. Oh, is this the new move? Oh. Rita Brocket. Alright, let's go back to the scene where I was actually going to make a comment on this, but I was so into the scene here. So there's a technique that Dateko is using called bunch blocking. You see how close they are together. Now, what this allows the blockers to do is it allows more blockers to help block in multiple situations. So let's say Kageyama sets the middle, or he sets inside on the left or right, then they kind of move as one unit. Now, the difficulty of starting in a bunch blocking read system is that you have to be synchronized, because if number 7 or number 2 read the middle and they stay there, but Aone reads that the setter's going to set left or right, he has bodies blocking him in this way. So it's worth it because you get a chance to get more blockers on the ball, but it's more difficult to execute because it requires so much more coordination and reading, which requires experience and a good understanding of volleyball. The Dateko wall. Triple block. Yeah, so all 3 were able to bunch block in the middle and help with blocking mainly the middle. So how do you beat that? You set faster to the pins left or right to spread out the blocker so they can't bunch as easily. And then you go back to the middle. Yes, that's right. Because a setter can't help but feel responsible for setting his hitters into a triple block. Oh, Kageyama with the stare down. Hey, it's good to get blocked on the first time because then you get to see if they can actually block you. It's better to get blocked early in the game than later. So I wonder what it was about Kageyama that Dateko was able to read. Banch shifto. Oh, the explanation. Curious to see if I'm understanding their blocking system. Yeah, so that's why you gotta set to the pins. That's how you exploit the bunch. Yeah, this is what most people do, spread block, especially in high school. You just have, at the minimum, one blocker per hitter. But not a lot of help from the middle. But most teams at a higher level do some type of bunch blocking variation. Let's see if they can break through. I love these iron wall analogies and visualizations. Oh, he got it through? Maybe Hinata can still beat through the wall with quickness. That's the first smile from Kageyama. Man, I'm excited to see Suki get better and what he's learned, apply what he's learned. Good cross. Can he break through the Dateko wall and set Suki at a higher point? No, he's raiding to the pins. Oh, they got two blockers even though he set fast to the right side. And Aone is just so good at reading the setter. Can't wait to learn more insight from the Dateko coach on how they teach their players to develop this intelligent blocking system. And now Kageyama's feeling the pressure. That's good. This is the most that Kageyama's felt the pressure ever. So he has to be extremely neutral and calm and not give away a set. Otherwise, Dateko's gonna see that way too early. This is great because it is very realistic that good blockers will put a lot of pressure on you. A successful blocker can actually get 0 blocks the entire game, but touch every ball, read every set, and just be there and just be annoying. And of course, Dateko is even better than that. Not only are they annoying because they're able to read and just put a hand on every single ball, they're also getting stuff blocks pretty often. Now on the flip side, good setters can put a lot of pressure on blockers, especially deceptive ones with good technique. There can be so much pressure on the middle blockers trying to read the setter, and if they make the wrong read, it's going to be a really easy set away from the block and then an easy kill for the hitter. So I wonder if they're going to go into that where Kageyama might flip the script and be even more deceptive and put that pressure on the Dateko blockers. Is he going to go back to the goody two shoes reference? Kageyama's embracing it, finally. This is what he's been craving, playing at this level. You probably don't want to dump too much with your right hand like that, like a backhand spike. Usually want to use your left hand. Oh, Stills blocked him straight down. Hachi! Yeah, Tsuki's a great blocker. Imagine if he went to Dateko. Ooh, that's tip right over the block. Nishinoya is always there. Ah, yes, he's gonna apply a special move. Never gets old. Nice receiver. Why is everyone so surprised? Because he told him because he's in the way? That was interesting. Here's my immediate reaction to episode 6. I want to continue that thought on why Kageyama said Nishinoya was in the way. The only reason why I can think he said he was in the way is because when a libero dives and stays in the middle lane and doesn't get out of the way right away, they will take away the big attack. And that's something that my libero does pretty often. And I keep telling him, Brant, you gotta move, you're in my way. He's like, I got you. But great liberos actually love to watch themselves pass the ball. So after he does a great dig, he kind of stays there and watches his pass versus just getting out of the way. So if you're libero, make your great dig, but don't watch your pass, just move on to the next one and be ready to cover or set right away. I was surprised to actually see some gameplay in this episode because they always end right before the cool stuff starts. It was really awesome to see how Dateko's block got even better with a new and evolved bunch blocking system. This is also the most emotionally complex that I've seen Kageyama, and they do a great job reflecting his personality because he's not someone that thinks out loud. He's more introverted, and so a lot of his moments where they're doing flashbacks and it shows him processing are happening without words. Whereas someone like Hinata, when he's processing something, he's usually vocalizing it or processing it with some type of body language or conversation because he's more of an extrovert. Still waiting to hear what Asahi wanted to try because he's been working on things as well, and I haven't seen a lot of development from Asahi in a while after that huge breakthrough against Dateko. The good thing is that Asahi's not intimidated by this block that used to shut him down, and instead he's doing something like this and thinking about how to get around the wall versus being intimidated by the wall. So that's really good to see. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you in the next one.